So welcome to the podcast, Find Your Path.
Yo. What's up, everybody?
Hey, we got audio. We're good. So the name of the
Mic
podcast is Find Your Path. So I want to have my good friend Elquan on here. He's
You're
been on a journey with the music shit. He's got some really, really dope records with some really big people.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So he's had a lot of success in the music industry. He's out here in Vegas, still shaking and moving, really on the ground. So I wanted to have him on here. Elquan.
Man, thank you for having me. Find Your Path. What's up, guys? How we doing, man? Man, I'm just so happy to be here. Shout out to my dog. He just randomly hit me, because he's been having this Find Your Path thing cracking for a little while. And he's like, dude, come through. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm off today. So
pull up.
Let's do it, man. That's real love right there. So I really appreciate it for real.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for coming. So yeah, I mean, we didn't get too deep into it before we figured out we didn't have no audio.
Yeah. A little minor little thing, easy fix.
Easy fix, but it's all good. So, how long you been making music, bro?
Making music, man, since high school for real, like since like 15, 16. Used to have a little rap clique back in the day called Thug Passion. It's just a bunch of me and my guys from high school rapping in my boy Sid's basement. And that was when Hot Boys was out, so we was on some we was Lil Wayne and BG and Juvie and all those guys, and and it went from that to moving to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Mom's moved to North Carolina. I wasn't trying to move there, so came here, moved in with my cousin and my aunt Gretchen.
Shout out to Jordan.
You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, I got on an underground label called Hall of Fame Records, and that's where I learned my little song structure and, performing in different stage presence and all of that good stuff. And then branched out on my own and repping this So 100.
So 100.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, bro. So what do you think has been like the biggest lesson you've learned in the music industry, from like when you started to like now?
Man, the biggest lesson that I learned is just to get started. You know what I'm saying? Like not to wait, not to take too many things personal. That was another thing too, because there was times where I was feeling like, damn, this person ain't put me onto this show and this person ain't put me in this. And why is this happening? But it's not like that, man. Sometimes it's other thing behind the scenes, and people have their network of people and things going on, and sometimes you got to get your own motion. And I feel like Vegas is a newer city, and it's not like stuff isn't so concrete here just yet to where you can't get your own thing cracking. So
100%.
Thank God I'm here. Thank God, creatives can create and make something super dope here and turn into something big,
Yeah, bro. I really like what you said as far as like don't take shit personal.
Yeah.
Because that's huge, bro. You can't take nothing personal, like regardless of the situation. Because you don't know what's going on in somebody else's, situation or whatever. But that's one thing about Vegas that even when I was in the music industry doing stuff is like I always felt like nobody's gonna put me on, so I gotta put myself on. Like, you know what I mean? So like I never really like tried to get on any like big shows or anything. I was like, I'm gonna just do it. Like,
That's
you know what I mean? Whatever. Which kind of leads you to like what you're doing now. You wanna kind of tell us about what you got going on?
Man, so what we got going on now is my first actual event with my homegirl Gaia called Create and Relate, y'all. You know what I'm saying? January 12th at Taverna. Shout out to the Art District of Las Vegas. Shout out to Jeff, the owner of Taverna, for giving us this chance to throw our own event. My first own event that I'm throwing.
That's dope.
And I wish I would have been did this, you know what I'm saying? But, like you said, man, you just got to get the own motion cracking and get things rocking and rolling, you know what I'm saying? So, and this will be an ongoing thing. This isn't going to be something that we're just going to throw one time and just leave it at that. I want to help put the city on. I want to help shine some light on some artists out here that are doing great things, some creatives that are doing great things. So definitely tap in, man. Come through January 12th at 8 p.m.
Let's go. And it's in the downtown arts district?
Yeah, downtown art district, right off of Charleston. Right when you get off the freeway, you're heading right there. It'll be on your left. Can't miss it.
Can't miss it. Yeah, bro, it's going to be dope. And that's it's next Friday, right? Or the Friday after that?
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Okay, Friday
Yep.
after that. This should. Well, and we don't. I don't know when I'm gonna put this out, but it's gonna be Friday the 12th or
January 12th. Yes,
the
sir.
January 12th, 2024. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So if this comes out and you saw and you were there, you were there. If it hasn't happened yet, you better get there.
You better get there, man, because we got a great lineup. You know what I'm saying, including myself, of course, but we got a great lineup that I strategically picked and made sure that aligned with the show and what the show's about and the vibe of the show. You know what I'm saying? So
Cool.
if you're about positivity, if you're about networking, you want to build, you want to get your name out there, slide through. You know what I'm saying? Pull up.
Why? What you got? You ain't got nothing going on.
Right. It's right after New Year's,
Friday.
so it's Friday. You know what I mean?
Let's go. First Friday. Is it a first Friday?
Nah, we couldn't get first Friday. We wanted to. We were trying to shoot for that, but Jeff and Taverna they're always showing love to the city and stuff like that, so they always got events going on.
It's
back
probably
to back.
like hot, but when you show out on this one, they're gonna be like, you want to get the next first Friday, and then it'll be really cracking.
Exactly. So I'm out here, outside with it, pushing these flyers and
let's go,
getting it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. That's one thing that's like really admirable about you is like you really just get to work, bro. You really just get down to it and you make the shit work. You know what I mean? However you got to pull it off, you be pulling it off.
Absolutely. That's one thing. Shout out to my homegirl Gaia that's throwing the show with me. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing she said that she admires about me and that she's happy to work with me because she knows that, my word is good. If I say that I'm going to knock something out, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be ready to go. So
solid.
You can depend on me for sure.
Yeah, Elquan is solid for sure.
Yeah.
I'll vouch for that. 100%.
My dog, for real.
Yeah. So, I think a lot about, there's some stuff probably, I don't know, people don't know about you. You overcame and battled cancer.
I did.
Twice, right?
Twice, yeah.
Beat that motherfucker down.
Beat her down to the ground, nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
Praise God. You know what I mean?
Bro, praise
For real.
God. So what do you think, like, I know we've talked about this. I'm big on, like, the esoteric stuff as far as, like, mind powers and, like, overcoming, challenges in your mind and stuff like that. So, like, what is, like, maybe some insight you could give? Maybe somebody's going through something like that, some type of health problems that, like, you could shed light on it, beating that and overcoming that, like, how did it go down in your mind? Or, like, what's some value you could add to someone maybe going through that?
Absolutely. Going through cancer or going through any type of medical issues or problems, man, you want to stay around positive people and keep a positive mind frame as much as possible and also keep moving. Don't kind of sit and dwell too much. Stay busy, stay moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? Get active if you can in the gym. A lot of those simple things could easily bring your health back up to par and get that stuff right out of there, because sometimes the mind frame is so powerful that you can change some things in your body and in your life just in general, just by your mind.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So,
bro, I believe
use
that.
it.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
They say laughter is the best medicine. I believe that.
For real, though. That's very true, man. That's very true. You definitely want to have your mind frame right. You know what I'm saying? The mind frame has to definitely be right to overcome stuff like that, for sure.
Yeah, bro. You beat that thing down twice.
Man, by the grace of God, for real. I'm really thankful, happy to be here, and definitely know that time is of the essence, so we ain't got nothing to waste. We
ain't got nothing to waste,
we got to
bro.
be moving and making stuff happen.
You got a purpose.
Yeah.
You got a purpose out here.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I remember we talked about is like, bro, I beat cancer. It's not even that major.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, very true, man. When you beat something like that and you got like little stuff that may happen, your car may break down or, you lose a job, whatever the case may be, it's like, bro, I was on the borderline of not being here at all. So
that's a blessing that my car broke down.
I can still make something happen, you know what I'm saying? Like I can still get out here and get another car if I need to, or I can get another job, or I can still recoup from the materialistic type of things or just life in general, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta stay strong and make it happen, man. It's out there for you. Another day is another blessing.
100%, bro. I've never really got into it too much, like on. I mean, this is like episode 6, so I haven't gotten too deep into like into the stuff. But I mean, everybody, you know, one thing that's certain is everybody's got a end date. Everybody's got an expiration date.
Very true.
Regardless of who you are, when it is, like
doesn't matter.
You
Old,
know what I
young.
mean?
You know, I just lost my uncle, Jordan's father.
No way.
On Christmas night.
No way.
Yeah. He
Dang,
passed,
I didn't know
man.
that.
So you got to definitely keep things in perspective, and and take life pretty seriously. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it too serious. Have a good time, of course, but have some meaning and some
Sense of urgency.
Behind what you're trying to make happen, and keep your relationships tight and solid, and for real.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild. My condolences to the family.
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
That's
man.
never easy, even if it's expected,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Much love to Uncle Derek, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Well, all that to say, not to damper the energy, but all that to say is, like, you're right. You got to have purpose. You got to, have a sense of urgency. You got to just, the way I look at shit too is, like, I've told my mom this, is like, if I know I'm going to die, like, I'm on my way out no matter what, is like, why would I spend my day doing something I don't want to do? Like, you know what I mean? Obviously you got to, like, do things to sacrifice to get where you want, but it's like, know your purpose, know your direction, and then move in that direction. It's like, don't waste any time not in the direction you need to go. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, get to it.
Get to it, man. Get to it, man. Find your pursuit of happiness and go there. You know what I mean?
Go there. Bro.
Go straight there, bro.
So we're kicking off 2024 with the bang. We got the show, sell out.
Got the show, baby. You know what I mean? Create and relate.
Let's go.
Come on now.
What else we got coming from Elquan in 2024?
2024, be expecting some new fire bangers for sure. You know what I'm saying? A couple of visuals, but more shows, absolutely. Catch me outside. Definitely in the Vegas community, because this is where I'm at. Tapping into more creatives and more events going on, and catching me on stage for sure, man. 2024, I'm trying to definitely build up my resume of showcases and stuff like that, because got plenty of stuff cracking online, plenty of dope music, plenty of things going on, but I feel like where I'm lacking at somewhat is just my shows. I got to get more shows cracking. So I feel like this is a good step towards that direction. And, with the music thing, there's always different pockets of things that you need to be knocking out. So, that's one pocket that I need to jump in real quick to add to what I'm already doing.
You got the records. That Organic Groove, bro, slaps. Bro, I had that on repeat for
Groove
for a minute, bro. I had it on repeat.
Shout out to my boy that was in there that made the cameo. That was shot in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? And that was a dope video.
That video was dope, bro. It had a really like cool like organic groove vibe to it. You know what I mean? Just like y'all were out there. You know what I mean? Just like went with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
It had the bends out. You know what I mean?
And we shot that shit so quick, like. It was so fast. Shout out to my dog Ice out there in Pittsburgh that shot the video, you know what I'm saying, and C4 Productions. Man, we shot that thing so fast, it was like, damn, like, is this shit gonna look dope? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, damn, dog. Like, he just like, boom, boom, boom. All right, let's drive down the street. All right, boom, boom, come over here. And shout out to ID Labs too, Wiz Khalifa Studio. Rest in peace to Mac Miller.
That was dope.
And all those guys. We were around all those plaques. So that's what made me definitely want to come back home and get the ground running in Vegas, because it just inspired me so much to just. Be out there feeling the energy of Pittsburgh and, shooting that video so fast and just tapping in with some creatives out there. I'm like, bro, when I get back home, it's time to get it popping.
100%. Sure. Bro, that record's hard. He said, bitch, it ain't that
serious. I pulled up stuck with Fast and Furious. I've been getting money while you acting delirious.
Elquan and Phantom, I'm
I'ma
gonna
keep
keep
it
it
mysterious.
mysterious. Oh,
I'm trying to tell
so
you.
that's how you know I've been on it, bro.
For real though.
I didn't even film the video. I know the words.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog, man.
That record is fire, bro. It really is. Like that shit really. I was really sliding to that shit.
It's a
You know what I
vibe.
mean?
It's a
For
vibe,
real.
man.
It's really. I don't know. It just made me feel good, bro. It made me feel like I'm the guy. I'm sliding out here.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Absolutely, man. You know, that's what I'm going for too, more is that feel good, that, you know, get yourself up, motivation, and just that, let's
Yeah.
get it type of music,
Yeah, bro. That 100%. I was fucking with that record. Like, you know what I mean? That was a fire one. You got a lot of good ones though. I like Nana.
Oh yeah, can't forget Nah. That's still spinning, still gonna be pushing that. That's been out almost 2 years now.
I can't believe it's already been 2 years.
Already been 2 years since we did that, but still gonna push that like crazy. That one's
going crazy.
A banger.
You got a record with Dizzy Wright.
Dizzy Wright, still moving. What's up, Diz? Yeah, man, that was a fire record. That video was fun.
That video was dope.
When we did that, man, in the office building, you know what I'm saying?
That was crazy. Yeah, that location was was major.
Yeah. No, it was legit. Seriously, looked like we was at work or something. You know what I mean?
I think that's one thing I've learned from like putting projects together is like locations and like the reality of like the being immersed in that environment is like really next level. I think like what can make shit really crack.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, it definitely hit the spot. That's for sure.
Cool, bro. Yeah, let's pivot a little bit. So we beat cancer. We got fire records. What else are we expecting in 2024?
2024 as well too. I've been in the gym.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Expect a bigger and healthier and stronger L. You know what I'm saying? Been in the gym 3-4 days a week, trying to do 5 if I can. You know what I'm saying? So staying active with that.
What you doing right now?
Right now, I'm on.
I'm talking about your stories, bro.
Oh, yeah. If you're on my stories, don't take it personal. I ain't just calling everybody bitch. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to.
I'll be like, motherfucker, I already went. What do you mean what I'm doing? What you doing? I already was. Shit.
It's all motivation. You know what I'm saying? It's all to just motivate y'all, to get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Has me dying.
I'm excited to be in there. I try to, make it like a comical Elquan Chronicles type of vibes.
So what you doing?
You know what I'm saying? When you see me on there, what you doing? Put the lotion down, dog. Get your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just trying to get y'all out there. Get in that gym, man. Get to it. Let's not hit the new year talking about new year, new me, and and that you gonna be in there and you only in there about a month and then it just dies down and you ain't in there no more. Like, let's get to it, bro.
Gotta get to it. Health is wealth.
Let's get to it.
You know what I mean?
Man.
Like you're saying, if you got your health, you got an opportunity to do whatever you want. You can create anything you desire, but when you don't got your health, it's a lot harder to create.
Can't do nothing. It starts there.
It starts there, bro. So you gotta stay healthy. Doc said you're healthy, everything looking good.
Yeah, man, feeling good. I want to do some more traveling this year. Especially get my passport. Finally, I haven't got that yet, so I want to get that.
Let's go.
And start, getting out the country.
Where in the country you going, bro?
Of course, I want to go to Japan, dog. I'm trying to hit Japan one time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I want to go there. I want to go to Portugal. I've always been interested in Portugal.
That sounds.
You know what I'm saying? A beautiful, beautiful spot like that, and if I can hit Brazil, that'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I want to also move around the States too, and just tap in more with creatives around in America as well, and
100%
hit some more events, and just branch out a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, we're going to Japan in May, I believe, April or May, or like some like April, like the last week of April, going into May, something like that.
Yeah.
Judy's parents just moved out there. Her brother, her sister is out there, and her brother just got engaged.
Oh, did he?
So yeah, like on Christmas, I think, or something like that. So they're trying to get married in like May. So we're gonna see what like days, but we'll be out there for a couple weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks. That'll be nice.
Yeah, you gotta be out there for a couple weeks.
Parents it's gonna be dope though, because once we get out there, one, the dollar stretches a lot further. The yen is really low. I think it's a yen.
I heard once you get there,
it's like
you're
you
good.
Yeah, yeah.
You
like,
just got to get there.
You just got to
get it.
That's the most expensive part. But there's like I've been like looking at some like travel hacks. You could like fly like you don't fly into Tokyo. You could fly into like other like places in Japan because Japan's pretty small. You could take like a bullet train anywhere in a few hours. So like you just fly into like somewhere cheaper, and it's like you could get flights for like $600.
What?
Yeah, but I mean just like economy or whatever. You know what I mean? And then you gotta like still fly into like this small city, and then you got a bullet train to Tokyo or whatever for like 2-3 hours. But then the bullet train's only like not even 100, so like you know what I mean, all day.
Yeah.
To move. So
see, they're so ahead of us, man. They already got the bullet train.
They got all kinds of stuff cracking.
All that stuff cracking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get over there. I love the Japanese culture, and you know they got the rap shit over there too. You know they're doing their thing over there.
Yeah, they be getting down.
The art, the graffiti. You know, all kinds of stuff. They even got lowriders.
They got lowriders. They got Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh,
out there.
Japan got it
So
popping.
yeah, Japan. I'm excited. I've never been to Japan. Judy was born in Japan, so it's kind of cool. And like on top of that too, her brother has got like a pretty dope crib with like extra room. Her parents got crib with some room.
Come
so
on.
like once we're out there, it's
good.
all day. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, we got to get out there. But the only thing now is I got to get 3 plane tickets. You know what I mean?
That's the expensive part.
Yeah,
that's the only expensive part.
Yeah,
other than that, once you're there, you're good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a few grand, but it's all good. Yeah, it'll be worth it. It'll be cool.
Absolutely.
Cool, bro. I will. What else, bro? What are you excited about currently? The show. What else you got cracking?
I'm really excited to create some new stuff too this year. You know what I mean? Come out with more new tracks for everybody to ride to and bang to, and everybody to just kind of follow and see the growth of Elquan this year, and also build the brand up more. I want to get my website back up and going. You know what I'm saying? And start getting the merch selling and start getting things really moving and grooving with that. Because I ain't gonna lie, like there's times where it's hard to keep an ad going. And when money gets a little tight sometimes and stuff like that. You know, I'm still working a regular job and stuff, so paying bills and stuff. So sometimes I'm up and sometimes I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I want to consistently keep that going and really focus in on creating new designs and really keeping the website updated with showcases and having things more organized and stuff like that, because I think that's major. I mean, yeah, Spotify's dope. Yeah, Apple Music, all those platforms are dope, but the website is for the people that's really fucking with me.
Yeah, that's how you get the direct cash flow.
That's how you get the direct cash flow. That's how you get people that are, that are really tapped in and want to rock some So 100 shit. You know what I'm saying?
So, do you know who Zach Gray is?
Yeah.
So I had him on the podcast. He's dope. We got like a record together. I think like 1 or 2 podcasts ago. And like he was like full time with music too, and he kind of got burnt out on it, because I think what you're doing is dope. There's like it's like you separate the money from the music, so you still have a lot of passion in the music. Where like what he did was like he was making money off the music, and he was doing like a ton of collabs and like producing and mixing all the other stuff, and he got burnt out on like the music, and he doesn't have the desire to make music. And he's dope. Like he's really cold. Yeah.
Is this like recently?
Yeah, recently. Like he's not doing it. Yeah, he's not doing music no more. Like as of right now, he's not doing music. He's like, I'm not doing music. And he's got hundreds of thousands of streams, or millions and millions.
Oh,
you know what I mean? He's got big records.
No,
like
he could definitely make something happen.
Big records. He's got millions and millions and millions of plays. Like I don't even know. And he's like burnt out off it. So like it's dope what you're doing. Like I don't think there's no like, you know what I mean? You're handling business and you're keeping the passion in the music, and it's different like when you crack off your own shit. Like, you know what I mean? When you like your own records blow up and you have your leverage on your own shit. Opposed to like what he was doing is he was making other people's records, and he was doing vocals for other DJs and all this and stuff. So he was getting like a fee for like his vocals, but it wasn't like his records or anything. He said he'd still get like a split, like a 50-50 split or whatever, but he said he just lost the passion in it. Like he just didn't have the desire to keep pushing it. So as long as you could keep that like desire and that fire to keep running it, because like and that's what I think is dope about you is like you're consistent with it, like year over year over year. You know, you're pushing records, you're pushing new creatives, you're, you know, running ads, doing new merch. Oh, I got. Whew, I'm trying not to.
My dog got the sneeze going in.
It went away. It got scared. It got scared. But yeah, you got the merch. I got the So 100. You got like
Facts.
lines. You got you got different lines, and you just keep it pushing, bro. Like relentless. And that's the thing with is persistence wins every time. You know what I mean? So you just
Right.
keep it persistent, and you'll get to where you're going. I think a lot of people just need to be clear on what they want, like the desired outcome they want, and you get there. I think people get like kind of lost and they don't know the exact desired outcome that they want, and so
And
they
they get
never get
discouraged.
there.
Yeah,
You're just like going in a circle. But if you're like, you know, I got this, and this that I desire, like, you know what I mean? I want 1 million streams. I want X amount of revenue. I want to do X amount of shows. I want to hit this or that or whatever the case may be. You have a clear direction, and now everything you're doing is like in that direction. And, you know, I'm big on mind powers and stuff like that and attraction. So, you know, just by being outside and moving in that direction, everything usually falls in line for you. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact.
I think that that's huge. That's major. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, man.
clear
Trying to
out-
build that team too, you know, because I can't do it all by myself. And I feel like, you know, the friends around me, people around me are my team. I mean, I feel like you're a part of my team, you know,
Yeah.
because you invite me on projects, you invite me to come through for the Find Your Path. I mean, this is major, you know what I'm saying, that you invited me to come through and do this, you know what I'm saying? And the team is very important because you definitely can't do everything on your own, you know what I'm saying? That's why I teamed up with Gaia, and got to do this event because she's a humble girl. She has a lot of personality. She's very creative. She's an artist herself, not like music or whatnot, but like as far as like real art type of thing. And she has a nice little following, you know what I'm saying?
She got a podcast too, right?
And she has a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like necessarily a podcast, I would say. I would say it's more like she does more like journalism interviews type
Oh, that's kind of dope.
type vibes, you know what I
I
mean?
need to get better at. So I'm like, just pull up. We gonna do something.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But like,
for sure.
I got some like pretty high level guys that are gonna come on, and like I don't really know them that well, and you know you want to make a good impression, so you kind of gotta like
look into them,
see what they've
been
get
doing.
a couple curated questions to get it in the right direction. You know what I mean? So they're not just sitting here like, "The fuck you doing?"
Right. Don't ask me that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell you ask me that for, man? I got a wife. Come on, man.
Oh, I'm weak, bro.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that teamwork makes the dream work, though.
100%,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That
All
teamwork
that to
makes
say
the
that,
dream
yeah,
work.
or I mean, what you were getting on is teamwork. Yeah, bro, I got a team. I got a lot of people that make this shit happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
just for the space, it's like, just to have this environment, we got Judy and Danielle and Roy, like, who owns the building or whatever, to hook this all, just for this to happen, just to have this environment.
Just to have this.
And then, you know, like Pathfinder, we got McKenna, Austin, Jazz, Mark, Nada, who else? Crystal, and then there's another editor I'm bringing on. I don't know her name, I forget, but she's dope. But
Yeah.
so just to keep the company moving, you know what I mean? Just to keep the bills getting paid. And like, fortunately, like same like you're saying, is sometimes I'm way up and sometimes it's we paying bills, and that's a blessing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you got to remember that like it's a blessing to just have food to eat, even in good food, bro. You over here on the Caribbean.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean?
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing, bro. To have a vehicle to move in, to have insurance on it. There's something crazy I didn't even think about in a long time. It's like my shit's been on auto pay for so long that like I forget about like insurance and and all that shit. But that, and like registration, but that used to be a challenge. You know what I mean? You used to have to be like, damn, like worried about sliding because you don't even got the insurance, or like worried about sliding because you don't got it for the registration. You know what I mean? And even beyond that, just getting into a car, like, you know what I mean? Those are levels, like codes you got to crack to like just be able to move around. And you know what I mean?
True.
So that's like a blessing, man. that I have to remind myself of. Like, it's just a blessing to have a home with the power on.
Thank you. Come on.
You know what I mean?
Come
with
on, man.
the food in the fridge, with the bed, you know what I mean? With security, with the car.
It could always be worse, you know what I'm saying?
All that shit you can't take for granted, you know what I mean? Because once you start tallying up the wins, like, in the morning or whenever, like, you start to get on the roll, like, oh yeah, bro, I got the lights paid, I got the gas, I got the house, I got the whip. Shit, I hit the gym, like,
I got it.
I'm
I got it
taking
popping
over the world.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I
for
mean?
sure,
That's
for
what
sure,
matters.
man. It's that mind frame, because some people, they're so negative, or their mind frame just isn't at that point where they can even see that, and you know what I'm saying, and really contemplate on the blessings that they have in their life. They're so worried about what they don't have, and you know what they're trying to get, or trying to be like the next person on Instagram, or whatever the case may be, and they're not looking at around them and like, damn, looking at their crib, they whip, their kid,
right?
You know,
your
stuff like that.
Family's healthy,
family,
you're
you know?
healthy. I didn't even touch on that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like you got to count your blessings for sure if you want more.
100%, bro.
You know
and I mean, 2023, I'll be like pretty open and like kind of vulnerable with you, but like 2023 was a year where like we just survived. Like, you know what I mean? There was like, in the last, like, I don't know, 24 months, I had months where I made $80,000 in a month, and I had months where I made like $8,000 in a month. And you know what I mean? Like, just to be able to survive it. Obviously, like, you have different emotions going into shit, but staying balanced, and like, you know, making it through the storm, and just focusing on your gratitude and your blessings, and like being able to just stay in the game. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I look at shit, is like, I might go broke, or, you know what I mean? And my definition of broke is different now. Like, broke to me is just having all my bills paid and having all this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I define broke. But like, I might be broke, but in a moment in time, but like mentally, like in my mind, I always feel like I'm expanding. Like, so I can look at shit and be like, oh, this was an error in thinking, or an error in mistakes because I did this and this. But I could know, like, based off, you know, the value I bring to the world, and like how much I work on myself by like going to the gym, reading the books, doing the self work on myself, that I know that mentally my soul, my mind, my consciousness is more expanded. So like, if I'm broke temporarily for a moment, it's like, that doesn't mean that I'm broke. Like, it's not even part of my identity. It's just like a situation that I'll look at and be like, oh shit, how did that happen? All right, let me figure out how it happened, and let me change it, and then come back up. Like, and
exactly.
you know what I mean? That could happen in a matter of weeks or months. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's quick. But because I could separate my mind, my mentality from like not attaching my value to like money or whatever, or just being broke for a second. And I think people get down on themselves for that. It's like, damn, I'm broke, whatever. And it's like something that could be a downward spiral. Like, you feel bad about shit, you feel whatever. But the cure, the antidote to that is like what we're just talking about. Is like being grateful for all these little things that you take for granted. You know what I mean? That like, just that shit will switch your mind. And, you know, again, from my like esoteric perspective, is like, switch your mind, amplifies your vibration, you become more attractive, like, you know what I mean, in your face, in your walk, in your attitude, and opportunities just fall in your lap just because you're in a good mood. You know what I mean? You're in the grocery store, you pick up something, turns out this guy's a fucking millionaire investor in music or whatever, and you're like, yo, I make music, whatever the case may be.
The universe is full of possibilities, man. It's full of possibilities. You can walk out your door and be put in position without even knowing that you were going to be put in position, just by your attitude, just by your mind state. Yeah. So keep that positive energy going, man. It'll crack off for you.
Bro, it'll be cancer for you.
Yeah. Literally. For real. Facts.
Talking from experience.
Facts, bro. You know what I mean?
You can be cancer with positive vibes, bro.
Facts, bro. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why people are smiling at you, you know, wanting to come up and talk to you, and that's that energy, bro. Like, energy is real. You know, you can feel it, whether it's good or bad.
100%.
You can feel it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, that's why you gotta stay on point with that. That's for me. That's my biggest shit too. Is like you could control your controllables. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't control if you get laid off or whatever.
No.
You can't control if, you know, whatever other outside things happen to you. But what you can control is how you perceive it, and then what you do with yourself. Like, you could control when you wake up and go to the gym. You could control what you're eating and putting into your body. You could control what type of content you're consuming. You could control, you know, how you feel about anything. So as long as you could control those things and like do those to your best ability, then the out world usually like falls into place like in a good way. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Shit. Everything. I was just listening to this book on my way here. It's called The Magic of Believing. It's dope. And it talks about like everything is internally, like everything you desire is already within you. Like, you just have to become that person and embody that, and then the outward manifestation happens. So like first you must think and be, and then you must do, and then it creates. You know what I mean? So you have to first think, I can do this, and then you go and do it, and then you get the thing. Like, that's how it works.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's very true, because it's like you want to be prepared for it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe at that time in life you weren't prepared for that specific blessing to come, and you weren't in that mind frame to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you sometimes things don't come right when you want it to, but it'll come right on time. And you just gotta
talk to him,
work yourself up to be prepared for that big mansion, or be prepared for that McLaren, or whatever it is your heart desires, to just be prepared for it. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. And how you do that is just by working out your brain, working out your mind.
Yeah.
You know, steady feeding it good stuff. Like you said, you know, if you're steady watching BS all day, and, you know, listening to BS all day and being around BS all day, that's going to come to you. That's all you're going to get, you know, so definitely got to switch that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I mean, and like just touching base on like what you're saying, like if you get a McLaren and you weren't ready for it, like you could just crash it and die like that day, like because you're not ready.
Day.
Boom.
That
we're
ready
same
for
day.
It. Yeah, you know that's true.
So same with like all the money, power, whatever. Like if you just hit $1 million, like you could go and you're not ready, you gonna hit the club. All of a sudden you overdose on ecstasy or something. Boom. You know what I mean? Boom, gone right there. Why? Because you were gassed up and you weren't ready for it.
You weren't ready for it, bro.
So like, I mean, yeah, that's
couldn't
why
handle it.
There's a study. I'm sure, like, I don't know if you've heard this, but I've heard it a ton. There's a study on like people that win the lottery, and like 98% of them or whatever always go broke, and they're like more miserable than they were before they won the lottery. Yeah, and that's because they just don't know how to manage that kind of money. They don't know how to compound it. They aren't ready for that kind of power, so they just, you know, over leverage themselves, spend all their money, and, you know, end up in a worse situation. It's like, it's a real power. Like, I think
that's real.
That's a real superpower.
Everybody wants it, but everybody can't handle it.
But I mean, and there's nothing wrong with not everyone's purpose or, you know, mission in life is to be like super wealthy or like super powerful or anything. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, only if you have that desire, it's something like, because it's a huge responsibility. Like, you know, I'm not fucking a millionaire or anything, but I got fucking like 10 different families that depend on the shit on the decisions I make. You know what I mean? And that's a lot.
And you don't work a regular job.
Yeah.
My guy has his own business. He got his own thing cracking. Shout out to Pathfinder Productions. Shot most of my videos. But that's what he does. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are trying to get to that point. Yeah. And like, tell us a little something about how you got to that point of, you know, getting to that point of not working a regular job and having your business flowing, and how did that come together the way it did?
Bro, so that's I talk about, like, I'm sure you've seen, like, on my Instagram right now, I talk about all the failures I had, and I failed a lot of times. It wasn't just like I got shit cracking right now and like I'm here where I'm at. And again, like, I've experienced a level of success, but like what I desire is a lot more, and it comes with like building up these skills of like, you know, being able to manage people, being able to manage money, being able to manage the pressure of clients and everything. And it's like a muscle. You get stronger and stronger and stronger, and it'll grow as it compounds. But just going back to the beginning, just like a quick version is, so 2013, probably before that, it was like 2012 or some shit. I started a mechanic shop with my dad, and then it went bankrupt in 2013 for all kinds of reasons. One, I didn't know business, and two, like my dad was shot out, and three, I just didn't know business. But before that, I guess my very, very first business was I was selling weed, and I didn't mean to start selling weed, bro. This is how it worked. That I bought an eighth, and my homie Mikey and my homie PJ were like, yo, let me get a dub. And I was like, a gram is a dub. So they gave me 20, and he gave me 20, and I had 40, and I still had like, you know, 1 point whatever left for myself. And I was like, yo, it's kind of tight. So then I got a quarter the next time, and then they were like, yo, let me get an eighth, or let me get a dub, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. And it just like started like that. And you know what I mean? Then I got a zip or whatever, and then I had like a couple of homies from work here, there, whatever. And that was my first business. Then I was doing that while I was doing the truck mount garage, and then that went bankrupt. And then boom, I went back to what I knew how to do, which I was a baker. I don't even think I met you since I was a baker, but I was a baker from like when I was 18 to like
It was
20,
way back.
28 maybe or whatever. Yeah, so 10 years I was a baker, bro. Like I worked at the Win, at the Cosmo, at the SLS, at the M. So I had like, and those are good paying jobs, like $22, $23 an hour, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was good. And but then I started doing music. So I was kind of doing music before the shop, just whatever, you know. I had a little mic at the crib. Oh, this was when the Square computers, bro. We had this. You remember the Square computers?
Oh yeah.
This was a Square computer at the crib in the closet with the little like gamer microphone doing little beats and whatever. And
my boy was on the 1-2s. Getting it in.
And then so music, and then same thing, kind of like started throwing little shows, doing little merch, whatever. Went bankrupt with the shop, and then I was like, all right, now I'm going back into what I know to do. Did the pastry shit, and then I got a studio on like Mead and Valley View, and it was a dope studio. I had like 2-3 roommates. It was dope, bro. We had drums, records on the walls. It was like my favorite place to be in the world. Yeah, and
Sounds sick.
Meantime, I'm doing the pastry thing and started selling a lot of weed. Like I started selling weed to everyone in the restaurant. I started getting like, you know, quarter pounds, multiple pounds.
Damn.
And keeping it pushing, whatever. Doing the music thing still too, like recording, putting out records, all that. Like, you know what I mean? The early days. And that's when I met Andy, and you met Andy.
Yeah.
Yep, that's when I met
Shout out
Andy.
to Andy.
And then that's kind of when Pathfinder was born, but I was then it was born, and I got fired from my job, from the pastry job. And that was like one of my favorite jobs, Bizarre Meat, at the restaurant. And I got fired because the video shit started cracking, and I was calling off to do like video shoots here and there. And then I started getting points, and they're like, yo, you're on your last point. And this is when fucking Cookies, the strain, first came out. Like, my boy was like, yo, I got some cookies or whatever. And he's like, it's fire. And I was like, all right, whatever. And I had a routine for like smoking before work. I'd smoke, whatever. I'd leave the studio, go there. You know, by the time I get dressed and like got all ready, because we had a like cafeteria, I'd have a snack, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd be cool. I'd be like going to work. And so I was still baked, bro. Like the whole time I'm like, yo, this shit is smacking. Like I'm so I'm like, you know, I come to work off like calling in for like 2-3 days, just happy as a fucking clam, like, you know, chopping it up with everybody, super happy. My executives are all pissed off, like, boy, I haven't been here for like, you know, a week.
Hella happy.
Yeah, so they're like, come talk to me, whatever. So I like go in, I'm baked still, go in the back. They're like, yo, this is your last write-up. If you call in again, you're done. Like, you know, we're gonna have to terminate you, this, that, and third. Hey. I was like, I thought it was something serious. I was like, oh, that's it? Oh, all right, bet. Signed it. I was like, cool. I could go now? They're like, yeah. And then so I left. And then 5 seconds, bro, like 5 minutes later, like security comes up on me with weapons and shit, like, yo, come with me. And I was like, for what? I was like, I didn't do
What the
nothing.
heck?
And then the fucking 2 executives come up like, we think you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol because your eyes were dilated. And back in then, like, it was like a dark, their office was dark. I was like, bro, the office is dark. Of course my fucking eyes were dilated.
Right.
And then, I was
that
like,
boy came to work lit.
and I was like, well, bro, I smoke weed. Everybody around here knows I smoke weed. Like, so if you go drug test me, weed's going to show up. And they're like, all right, well, it's too late. We called them, so you got to go. I was like, all right, bet. So then got suspended pending investigation, and they terminated me. But they were cool. They, like, gave me my 401k and all my benefits or whatever I got. So that was cool. And then, boom, Pathfinder was, like, full and cracking. Like, I was, like, cut off. Like, you know what I mean? So Pathfinder started cracking. Me and Andy were like, all right, we got to make something. We got to make a name, bro. It's got to be something. And we just, called it Pathfinder. And then, so that shit started cracking. The weed is still booming, bro. Like, I was started to do edibles and shit because, like, I wasn't going to work. So I started making edibles, and I knew how to make, like, crazy cookies and all kinds of shit. So I was making a ton of edibles, and then I started selling them to, like, different delivery services that were, like, advertising. I would just, like, go on Weed Maps or Where's Weed, and I'd be like, yo, you guys want to buy edibles? I'm a baker. I got hella edibles. And I had hella edibles. I'd make batches, bro, like 300 pieces at a time or whatever. And so finally I had a dude, and he was like, yeah. He's like, you can't just call people and ask them if they want to buy edibles. And I was like, I did. Yeah. And he was like, well, what do you got? And I was like, all right. I sent him all this stuff. He's like, all right, I'm going to come over, whatever. He pulled up to the studio. I showed him a bunch of shit, and he's like, why don't you just start your own delivery service? I was like, how do I do that? And he's like, all you got to do is pay this little fee for, like, to advertise on Weed's Map and Where's Weed. And then they put you on, and it's like, that's it. And I was like, that's all? And he's like, yeah, bro. And he's like, you got to do a certain thing so, like, the feds don't get on you, whatever. And I was like, bet. It was like, boom, 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 running it up, bro. Like, at the end of every day, I'd stack, like, this big of money. Like, it was nuts. And then I started adding, like, glass, like, fucking, different type of bongs and shit. And then I started getting, like, vape pens and, like, the batteries and everything, bro. It was blowing up.
I didn't even notice about you, bro.
Yeah, it was blowing up.
This is new to me.
It was blowing up.
My man really got it popping.
And then I was, like, selling them, because it was mostly, like, out-of-town people on the strip. So I was selling, like, fucking halves for, like, 300, like, crazy.
They were spending.
Taxing.
Right.
And so it was booming. And I was like, yo, this is it. I cracked the code. Fucking shortly after, the DA started following me around, and, like, I was like, I told my mom, I was like, because I was still at the crib, bro, no bills. I just had the studio, which was a trap, and I was stacking bread. And I was telling my mom, like, and she knew I was doing the edibles and shit because I was baking them in the kitchen, whatever. And I was like, I think someone's following me. She's like, who do you think you are? Like, Pablo Escobar? Like, no one's fucking following you. I was like, yeah, I'm probably tripping. Right. So then I would go, I started really noticing it. Like, they started, like, honing in on me when I was, like, going to the gym, because I would go to the gym, and I feel like I'd see the same, like, 4 people, and they were always, like, staring at me. And so I'd try going, like, different times, and they were always there. And I was like, bro, people usually go at the same time. It's like a routine or whatever, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I'm going to try going at, like, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, just to see if they'll pull up. So I went at, like, 4 in the morning, and I'm, like, sitting there, bro, on the treadmill, like, looking at the door just to see if, like, they come through the door, and boom, 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 all 4 of them came through. And I was like, oh, shit, these motherfuckers is really following me, like, for real. Like, this is 5-0. And so then I start tripping, and I'm like, all right. So I go back home, and then it's like, I'm going to start my day. And I would go to the studio. I would, like, because I'd have a list of orders already by then. Like, they would come in, and then I'd go to the studio, pick up, do my rounds, and then I'd go out and just, like, spin until I delivered everything. And then, so I went to the studio, and I'm about to leave, and then I get pulled over, like, on the way out, and they just, like, yanked me out of the car. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Dude's like, do I look like a regular cop to you? Like, shows me a chain. I was like, I guess not. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what do you got? And he's like, they're like, do you have anything in the car? I was like, I got weed. Yeah, I got, like, some weed in the car. And he's like, all right. And they're like, we know who you are. I was like, who am I? And they're like, you're a kingpin drug operator. I was like, the fuck? I was like, bro, you got the wrong guy. I was like, I sell weed. I was like, yeah, I sell weed, but, like, I'm not a kingpin drug operator.
Right.
I was like, you got me fucked up. They're like, we got a unit at your headquarters. We know everything about you. Da 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 da. I was like, what? And they're like, where's the keys to the fucking studio? I was like, all right.
Whoa.
So I gave them my keys. They fucking like tore everything apart. They pulled everything. This is the crazy part, bro. Like, raided the whole studio, raided my whole car. And the only thing they found was like the edibles in the fridge, and I had like 5 pounds in the fucking studio, and they raided everything. It was in a guitar bag, bro, like in a bag with the guitar. I would keep it in there, and so they raided everything. They were basically like, you want to go home? This was straight out of training day. Like, you want to go home or you want to go to jail? I was like, I want to go home, bro. And they're like, all right, sign these paperwork. We're gonna get with you. You're gonna tell us where like people with guns and like drugs are. I was like, fuck, I don't know anybody with guns and drugs, bro. I was like, I sell weed. They're like, so you want to go to jail? I was like, no. I was like, all right, bet. So sign the paper or whatever. And then I fucking go back in the thing. I'm like, this shit's all destroyed. I look in the guitar bag, bro. All the weed is there. I'm like,
are you serious?
They didn't even find the weed,
Are
bro.
you serious?
All the edibles were gone. All the weed was there. So at this time, I would buy like 2 pounds or whatever, and then the dude would front me like another 2 pounds. So I, took pictures of the shit, and then I like sent it to the dude like, yo, I got raided by the DEA. Don't hit me. They took all your shit. I don't got nothing. But I still had to like all the shit.
Oh, and then, my dog is a finesse. He ran off with the work.
No, I'll tell you too. So then I ended up keeping it, and I ended up getting so paranoid, bro. Like, I just went and threw it all away in the dumpster, like at Albertsons. I just went and fucking took like all fucking 5 pounds
right,
and threw it in the dumpster.
They just was too tripping. On you. They was just too on you, bro.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I didn't even do nothing with it. And then anyway, so then I call my mom like, yo, this happened, whoop-de-whoop. She's like, you got to get a lawyer. So I went, boom, straight to the lawyer's office. They told me like, the number they gave you, call them, tell them like, hey, I can't make contact with you. My lawyer is going to handle any communication. Don't call me again, whoop-de-whoop.
Right.
Because they were trying to get me to press, like snitch on people or whatever. And I was like, not with the shit. So I just did that. And then meantime, I was like, I gotta get a job. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't really be doing shit. And the thing is, they were still on me. And like the music videos we were doing back in those days, it was for like pimps and like, you know what I mean, people that were really trapping like big shit with like, it's like, if I would have did that, then the trafficking charges would have stuck. Like if they would have pulled up on us in a shoot or whatever, and it was somebody who was like doing some other shit, like everything would have stuck on me, and it was like a 2-year sentence. So I was like, I got to get a job again. You know what I mean? So I'm applying for all these jobs, and I can't get a job. And so I call my lawyer. I'm like, bro, I'm applying all these jobs. I can't get a job. I can't get past the background test, whatever. So then they're like, all right, let me look into it, whatever. Then they're like, oh yeah, you got 3 arrest warrants on you, whatever. They're like, pull up. We're going to go to court, whatever. They're going to do a walkthrough. You'll be straight, and you just go about your business after that. I was like, all right, cool. So I went, bro, to court, and they just locked me up on court, like in the court, boom, locked up. And then they were like, had a hold on me. My parents tried to post like bond and shit, and then they just were like trying to fuck with me to see if I would like press or snitch on anybody. So boom, so I was like, fuck it. Then they transferred me to like North Las Vegas for long-term holding, and I was like tripping, bro. And meanwhile, they're like not telling me shit. Like they're like, yeah, they're trying to get you to crack. Yeah, and I was like, damn, I'm fucked. And so I was there for like 3 weeks, and then I got out. Whatever, they dismissed all the charges. I just had like to pay some shit and then stay out of trouble for like a year or some shit. Did the 150 hours of community service, and then that was that. And then so meanwhile, then I got a job at the Cosmo. I worked at the Cosmo for like 2 years, and the video business starts cracking again. I'm doing that on the side, this and that, tattoo artist, little music videos, whatever. And then that's how I met Judy. And then that's when Judy kind of like came into the picture, and that was like 5-6 years ago already. And then she had just like quit her job, and she's like, yo, you got to quit your job and really go in on this Pathfinder stuff. And I was like, well, yeah, that's cool, but I'm paying all the shit with the job, so like, you think we could do it? And she's like, yeah, we'll do it, whatever. So then that's like how that shit started, and then I quit, transitioned full time into the. I was really. And I was like, well, Pathfinder's always paying the bills, you know what I mean? Like, why not just go all in on the company?
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then I like, shit got so tight, I was like, I need to start selling solar or whatever, and that's how I got introduced to the solar industry, because my boys were just killing it, making stupid money, then like doing video for solar, and then fast forward, you know what I mean, 11 employees later, and not really, I don't like to call them employees because they're all like 1099, but like team members, like self-contractors.
Yeah.
Later, we got the shit cracking, and you know what I mean? It was far from an easy road.
Right.
You know
And
what I mean?
how did the word get out as far as like the services that you were offering? Were you going from business to business, or were you, because social media probably wasn't as big back then, you know what I'm saying, or was it? I'm not sure.
So yeah, in the beginning, actually, like Instagram was where like 90% of the business came from. So like
Okay.
really
That was
just,
before the algorithm too. That was when
yeah,
everybody could see your shit
yeah.
when you posted it.
So like it just really came from being outside, bro. Just like this is what's beautiful about this particular business is like when you do a project for somebody, everybody in their network sees it. So like
Right.
if you just do a really good job for somebody, like however you finesse your very first one, it will always bring a second one. So like just like do a really good job for somebody, all their people are gonna see it, then they're gonna be like, yo, where'd you get your video done? Then they
True.
plug you, boom. So just like that's just how it went down, and that's like it's been like 7 years that Pathfinder has been alive. So we just always kept the page alive, like, you know what I mean, like always put all our videos we did on that page.
Right.
And just always kept it going for like all that time. So like it was just like word of mouth in a sense. Like I mean, last year and like this year we've like done like ad campaigns and shit like that, but it's really just like being outside, being available. It's because like a lot of people can be, and I learned this from selling weed, is like being prompt. Just like when someone hits you, like hit them back and get to it. Like hit them back and get to it.
Right.
Where a lot of people
Before they
were
find
like
somebody else.
yeah, exactly. And so like just being prompt, like they hit me, boom, I'll get to it. And so just being like that, bro. There would be times for a long time, for like years, where like people would hit me at like 6 p.m. like, yo, I got a show, I need this filmed, can you be here at 8? And I'd be like gone. Like I leave the crib with the, you know, with Judy there, I'd be like, yo, I gotta go, boom, and like hop out and go. And I would be like that all the time. And that happened recently or something. And I just got up and went. And she's like, damn, you haven't done that in a cool minute. And I was like, yeah, I guess it's been good. Like, you know what I mean? Because I got like a lot of people that work with us. So now if something comes up, I'll just slide it to
another person.
whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like being good at business and providing a good service just kind of like expanded the word of mouth aspect of it. You know what I mean?
That's
just
awesome.
doing a good job. Doing good business, you know what I mean? Shit, you know me for some years now.
Yeah.
And just, you know, that's it. And this shit just spread. And then like we kind of really took over the solar market. So we're really popping in solar. Like everybody in solar knows who we are as far as like solar companies and marketing and stuff like that. So going to the conventions, all that shit really, really helps. So I don't know, just stay doing it, bro. Just
Stay
persistent.
doing it, yeah.
And figure out like one thing we're learning with the candle business is like you just have to make sure your margins make sense. So like with video, it's like if you're doing all the work, it's 100% profit. You know, you just got to you got to buy a camera. So it's like this whole camera
that's the investment.
setup, this shit right here is like 12 grand probably or more.
12 grand.
But and then with the mics, you're probably like close to like 15. But
15.
Only a couple videos and it pays for itself. You know what I mean?
There
like
it
you
is.
charge 1,000 per video, 15 videos. Everything after that, you're in the profit. And this motherfucker, that boy did some videos. This guy's kind of new. He's probably already paid for himself too. But
damn, this is a new one.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah, that motherfucker nice.
So with other businesses, it's like you have other expenses. You know what I mean? Like with the candle business, it's like, okay, you got this whole spot. That's whatever. And then her salary, then whatever. Then all the materials, then like marketing, So like you just have to make sure your service and your product has enough margin to like keep it afloat and keep it going. So with Pathfinder, it's like I knew the sweet spot for like, I still know, and it's still growing. It's like I know the sweet spot for an editor, for a videographer, for like the social media person. I know what that costs me, and then I know what I could charge and what like the profit margins in. So it keeps growing, so
Makes
I could
sense.
keep doing a good job faster and bring on more people to like be of service to. You know what I mean? So
Man.
I guess that's the long and short of it. I still like I'm super far away. Like my goals for 2024 is to, we talked about that like apartment unit shit. So I want to buy 4 apartment complexes. I want to sign on maybe like 5 politicians that we could do their content and social media for.
Yeah.
And then grow the team. And then this looks great on camera and it's a cool little spot, but you know what I mean? I want to take this to the next level as far as like a big,
It will,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
It's going to get there. But you started.
yeah.
That's the main thing. You got it rocking and rolling. I don't know, did you just come up with this yourself, or when you got the candle business in here, you're like, dude, I can just podcast here?
That was the idea. I was like, oh, I could just make content back
See?
here. So then I like,
And you got it rocking and rolling. He set it up. He bought the shit, you know, and he's been hitting the ground running ever since. Every time I'm on Instagram or whatever, I see content coming from my guy. You know what I'm saying? So rocking and rolling ever since, you know what I'm saying? These type of people, if you're creative or if you're trying to make something happen, that you want to be around, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa, you know what I'm saying? You know, you want to keep things rocking and rolling. That way you can inspire your friends, inspire your family, you know, just by living your life and doing what you do, doing what you love to do. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That's awesome, though. Yeah,
Appreciate
this
it.
space is dope. I definitely see, you know, big things happening from this and it growing to be more than what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just super proud that my boy just got started.
Yeah, bro.
Just got it rocking and rolling.
Appreciate you.
Because I didn't even know, you know, until you
Yeah.
just told me to slide through. I thought you were doing someone else's podcast or something at first, but I'm like, oh, he couldn't be doing the same podcast every week. You know what I'm saying? He has to have some type of setup somewhere where he's shooting the content out, and long and behold, here it is.
Yeah,
you know?
I haven't even put out the first, like, I got all the 5 episodes edited. Now I have to do, like, I'm getting the thumbnails made, and then so you're going to be episode 6, so I'm probably just edit this real quick and then get it to that. And then I'm going to start uploading it to YouTube. So I actually haven't even uploaded it to YouTube yet, but
you already got
the flow. Yeah, we're just working the system.
You know what I'm saying? You already got a couple episodes, like,
Yeah.
you know, and that's a whole nother avenue that you're tapping into that could make you bread.
Yeah.
If it grows and you keep pushing these shows out and having subject matter and different people on here and stuff like that, you know, who knows what could come of that. You know, YouTube will start paying you.
Just try it. You just
You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, just do it. Just try and like do it. Honestly, that's how I look at shit. Just try it, do it. If you like it, keep doing it. If you don't like it, stop.
Right. Facts. That's
You know
very
that,
true,
dude.
man.
So,
Very true.
well, bro, it's been amazing. I see Zakiah over there falling asleep. I think we're probably a little bit over an hour. I can sit here and talk with you all day.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. You know, we chops it up, man.
So-
you already know. It's good to see you, too. I didn't see you in a
It's been a
little
little
while,
bit,
too.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's good to tap in with you and chop it up. You know
So
what I mean?
we got the show coming up, bro.
The
Tell
show.
people where we could go again. Remind them.
Listen, y'all, make sure you come out, create and relate. Taverna Coaster, I believe I'm saying it right off of Charleston and Maine. You know, it's going to be a dope event, man. Like I say, shout out to JD for sliding through. Shout out to Saucy Downs. Shout out to Shay. And shout out to my boy Young Delirious coming through from Houston. So, you know, it's going to be a dope event. You know, shout out to the DJ that's going to be DJing the event. What's her name here? DJ, let me make sure I give her name out there. I don't want to not shout her out.
Yeah. She put it together for us.
Right. Get y'all. My bad, y'all.
We'll cut it. We could cut it.
Yeah.
Nah, I usually don't. I leave it all raw. There's shit like where I like get up and the camera
All
dies.
kinds of shit, huh?
Yeah, I just leave that shit organic, bro. It's like whatever. That's part of the show.
Right. DJ.
Manny Fresh.
What the fuck is? Okay, DJ Roxy B. Yes, DJ Roxy B. You know, shout out to the females out there DJing. We got a female out there DJing, y'all. You know, we got to build the women up too, as well as the fellas. So we got her out there. And also shout out to my homegirl Gaia Speaks, man. Make sure y'all go tap into the Vegas network. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them for collaborating with me on this event. And we're going to keep it rocking, man. 2024. Make sure y'all taking care of yourself. Make sure you're keeping things rocking and rolling and stay positive. So 100.
Where can the people find them? Where can people find them?
Oh, yeah. Find me at Real Elquan So 100, and that's the SO, and the number is 100. You can follow me at So 100 ENT on Instagram. That's SO 100 ENT. And, you know, of course, the Facebook is Elquan. And the website will be back up real soon, so100ent.com. So just tap into those networks and let's network and tap in, y'all.
Let's go, bro.
I'm always down to chop it up too, so always feel free to hit me up.
Spotify, Elquan.
Spotify, Elquan, yep. Make sure y'all tap into the music. Spotify, Elquan. YouTube, so100ent. You know, subscribe to that. You know, got some fire videos, some fire content. So, you know, stay in the works, man. We got some shit cracking for sure.
Let's go, bro. Appreciate you coming through.
My dog.
My boy.
Appreciate you,
It's
man.
been real.